Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of the University of Freedom. And today I'm going to talk about the secret to learning. And I'm going to share with you the number one secret to how to learn anything or how to teach anything. But first I want to kind of go over why I think I am eligible to kind of teach on this. I want to share some of the things I've learned in the last few years. Now I focus on a self-directed education, one that I direct what I learn and I learn things that are most important to me at the applicable time. So I started really with building a motorcycle. At the time, I really wanted to learn how to work on my motorcycle myself. I didn't want to have to pay somebody else to do all of it, so I built a motorcycle from the ground up. And I learned, again, that is not a strength zone that I want to focus on every day, but I learned the process and I learned about engines and I learned quite a bit in that. And then I built 3 websites, and I learned, how to put websites together. And I learned that, I'm really not very good at that either. And while it's fun and you can, do a lot of neat things, there's a lot of great tools out there. That again, it's not. I want to find somebody that's really good at that. I self-published 2 books in 2 separate formats. One I utilized Amazon's program way before even I think the Kindle was uploaded, where you could self-publish, and now software is so much easier to utilize because you can just click a button and it makes an EPUB version. Anyway, and I learned how to do it with iBooks as well. I've read an average of 4 books a month every month for the last 5 years, so I've learned quite a bit in that process. I've learned about how to garden organically and how to compost and how to produce in different environments. And I learned how to be a husband and a father. I was never a husband and father before, and so I had to learn quite a bit there. I learned quite a bit about network marketing and MLMs and how to build online community as well as real community. Learned how to function in a foreign country, and this was pretty exciting because now I can really understand people better when they come here. And we have this tendency in America to be like, well, why don't you just learn how to speak English? Well, I tried to go to another country, and it's a lot more difficult to just learn a language than a lot of people are given credit for. And so learning how to function and how to get around and how to travel and how to quickly learn enough of a language to be able to do that. Learning how to use a Mac, that was a whole new experience for me. I've always been a Microsoft guy. Learned 2 different blogging platforms, and I've actually created some really popular training on one of the platforms. I've learned a lot in teaching and developing children because I've taught a toddler or a little guy how to potty train, right? How to go to the bathroom by himself, how to dress himself, how to feed himself, how to clean himself, how to read, how to write, how to use sign language, how to speak, and also how to create and utilize Montessori-based methods in your own home and develop some homeschool curriculums for parents to empower parents to be able to take more of an active role as the educators in their home, even if they're sending their kids to school. I've learned how to live on less than $2,500 a month, which I think is pretty interesting if you really look at what it takes to live in America. And people say things like, well, we can't live without a living wage, and we have all these ideas of what it really takes to live. Well, it takes budgeting, and it takes skill, and it takes some talents to be able to do that. So it's a matter of just learning how to do that. And I've learned how to play guitar, how to play harmonica. I'm learning how to play the Kenner harp right now, and I'm continuing to learn how to play guitar and harmonica. Would not say I'm an expert in any of those things. I learned how to make YouTube videos and how to upload and share videos and share content and deliver content through screen captures and training that way. And so really, overall, I've just done a lot of intensive self-learning. And the big thing that I've learned, and the main focus of all this was what I found in talking to a lot of people and coaching with people and all these ideas, well, it's so hard to learn, or I can't learn something new, or I don't know how to gain new skills, or my job skills aren't what they could be, and I need to learn something new, but I've got to go back to school. Well, I'm really here to kind of challenge that theory and challenge that idea because, again, it's not about how content is delivered to you. It's not a matter of you need to go pay someone to teach you. It's not a matter of anything but very one particular thing that's very, very important, and that's that it has to be applicable to the student. And one thing I didn't learn how to do is write very clearly on whiteboards. I do need to work on that. But if you really want to learn something, if you really want to make something effective, the number one thing is to learn how to make it applicable to the student. And I think the second thing that if you're a trainer, if you're a developer of others, you need to make sure that they have the right tools. You can't teach somebody how to build a house and not give them a hammer, right? And you can't teach somebody how to build a motorcycle and not give them parts. So if you're trying to teach somebody something, you've got to make sure they have the right tools. But more importantly, it's got to figure out is why do they need to learn it, and then help them understand that, help them see that, get that vision in front of them. And as the leader, as a trainer, as a teacher, you need to constantly be making sure that your students understand why it's important to learn. And so just for example, for my little man, he's very motivated by things. If I give him rewards, he's very much willing to learn them. So when we wanted to teach him how to dress himself, because I didn't want to spend the time dressing him every day and fussing and fighting and trying to get his clothes on, and it was aggravating to me, and it was aggravating to him, and rather than have that conflict every day, and I resolved the conflict, I said, hey, tell you what, when you learn how to teach yourself how to dress, and you can dress yourself from head to toe, I'm going to take you to Legoland. And it was a big, exciting adventure for him. He got to go to Legoland when he learned how to dress himself. And that was his motivation. That was his why. Hey, I need to apply this. And it wasn't because, well, if you've learned to dress yourself, then you're going to be able to dress yourself forever. No, hey, tell you what, you're going to get this reward if you do it. And he got it done within a couple months. I thought I was going to have 6 months to prepare for that. But, hey, a couple months he was done. He was ready to go. Same thing with potty training. We went on a big, long road trip. And he learned within a few hundred miles that he didn't like going to the bathroom on the side of the highway, and he needed to learn how to do that when we stopped and when we stopped for gas, and he needed to be able to communicate with me and tell me, hey, I need to go to the bathroom so that I could pull over and find appropriate gas stops and things like that, and we learned how to go potty on his own. So really it's a matter of learning why it's important. So I just wanted to share that with you through the University of Freedom. We're all about self-directed educations and people learning how to do things on their own. And my little man right now, he's in there, he's getting his own water and just spilling a little bit of ice, but he's doing it himself, and he's learning in the process because, we're always going to make mistakes, we're going to fail, so a little bit of spilled ice isn't that big a deal as he's learning how to do things on his own. So I just want to encourage you that you can take control of your learning. You can take responsibility for your learning process, and you can decide why you want to learn something, and then you can go about the how. My name is Justin Kurtz, and this has been another episode from the University of Freedom. Thank you.